In 2008, California made a promise. They were going to build America's first bullet train. Los Angeles to San Francisco, under 3 hours. The price? $33 billion. The deadline? It would be running by the year 2020. It is now 2026. The cost isn't $33 billion anymore. It is now $128 billion. And for that money, you get 0 trains, 0 passengers, and 0 tracks connecting the major cities. Instead of a super train, California is building a short track, the middle of nowhere. A track that starts in a cornfield and ends in a parking lot. If you want to get to LA, you have to get off the train and take a bus. So, how did the richest state in America lose the ability to build? Why is the price 3 times higher than promised? What exactly is the problem? Today, we are going to look at the hidden mistakes, like the thousands of underground pipes nobody knew about, and the impossible plan to drill tunnels through mountains that move during earthquakes. This isn't just a failed train. This is the story of the most expensive disaster in American history. Welcome to systemic failure. To understand why this project is failing, you have to look at the map. Cars can drive up steep hills easily. Trains cannot. A high-speed train is like a bullet. It needs a flat, straight line. If the hill is too steep, the wheels just spin. So the area between Los Angeles and California must be flat. However, it is not. Standing between the rest of California and Los Angeles is a mountain, the Tehachapi Mountains. It is a jagged wall of rock. You can't go over it. You have to go through it. This means drilling massive tunnels for miles and miles. And this is where the first big mistake that ruined the entire project happened. The engineers wanted a straight path, the shortest route, but the politicians in Los Angeles said no. They forced the train to take a detour to a town called Palmdale. This is called the Palmdale Dog-leg. It added 34 extra miles to the trip. But worse, it forced the train to cross another mountain range. Now, instead of one hard tunnel, they have to drill through 2 of the most dangerous geological zones on Earth. Because these mountains aren't just ordinary rock, they are active earthquake zones. The train has to cross the San Andreas Fault and the Garlock Fault. Here is the problem with this. When a big earthquake hits, the ground doesn't just shake, it moves sideways. The ground here can instantly shift 10 to 15 feet to the left. Imagine a train moving at 220 miles per hour, and suddenly the track in front of it moves 1 foot to the left. It would be a catastrophe, and thousands of people would lose their lives. This was the dilemma with the new path that the politicians wanted. So, the engineers have to build something that basically doesn't exist yet. They have to design a tunnel that acts like a zipper. It has to float inside the mountain. So if the mountain breaks, the tunnel can slide with it without crushing the train. This technology is incredibly expensive. This is why the cost went from $33 billion to over $100 billion. They aren't just building a railroad. They are trying to fight geology. And geology was winning. But while they try to figure out the mountains, something even crazier is happening in the flatlands. After the mountains, you reach the Central Valley. It's flat. It's empty. It should be the easiest place in the world to build a railroad. But this is where the state government made a billion-dollar mistake. They started hiring construction crews before they knew what was underground. It was a rookie mistake, one that a state like California should not be making. And as soon as they started digging, they realized that they had done something that would cost them in a big way. Gas lines, internet cables, water pipes, there were 2,800 separate things in the way that nobody had mapped out. This completely derailed the project. Every time they hit a pipe, the whole project stopped. The workers still got paid to stand there. They had to wait for months for phone companies to come move a cable. This mistake alone cost taxpayers $600 million. That mistake could have been avoided, but it wasn't. Then there were the farmers. The train line cuts diagonally across the valley. It acts like a giant concrete wall. Imagine owning a farm. Your tractor is on the left side. Your almond trees are on the right side. But because of the train, you can't cross the street. You have to drive 6 miles around just to water your own crops. The farmers were furious. They refused to sell their land, so the state spent years suing thousands of American farmers to force them out. But while the farmers lost their land, a different group of people were getting rich. The consultants. According to state audits, California is spending a whopping $1.8 million every single day on administrative consultants. These aren't the guys pouring concrete. They aren't digging the ground. These are the guys in suits who are simply giving advice. They are charging $75,000 an hour to manage a train that doesn't run. That's how crazy things are with this project. So, we have broken mountains. We have sued farmers. We have burned billions on consultants. And what is the result of all this chaos? Absolutely nothing. After 18 years and $128 billion, what exactly is California getting? What is the result? They are definitely not getting the bullet train promised. By 2033, if we are lucky, you will be able to take a high-speed train from Merced to Bakersfield. 2 points that mean absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. And once you get there, you have to get off the train and get on a bus to drive the rest of the way to Los Angeles. The total travel time with the bus transfer will actually be slower than driving your own car. So the obvious question is, why don't they just cancel it? Why keep burning money? Why keep trying to do a project that is obviously failing? Because they are trapped. If California cancels the project, they have to legally pay back $3.5 billion to the federal government. They are spending billions just to avoid paying back billions. It is the definition of a sunk cost trap. Also, they are ashamed to admit they failed. The California high-speed rail was supposed to be a monument to American engineering. Instead, it has become a monument to American bureaucracy. It is a lesson in what happens when you let politics ignore physics, when you draw lines on a map without checking what is underground. That is the story of California's high-speed train and why many call it a failed project. We investigate broken systems like this every single week, from the corruption in global shipping to the collapse of megabanks. If you want to understand how the world is actually built and how it is broken, hit that subscribe button today. This is Systemic Failure. I'll see you in the next one.